What up? How's it going? Hey, how Mike got rid of Tuco is dope. He puts a lot of things into action that once the outcome takes place, and there's a little bit of explaining, you're like, yo, he paid attention to so much detail and understands the law so well that he makes sure that all the bases are covered. So it makes all the sense in the world why he's the head of Gus's security, because it's deeper than just banging out, right? It's him being steps ahead of everyone else and everything. So let's go ahead and get this next episode started. Better Call Saul.
Raised her. Seriously? He's early.
Holy shit. Look at this place.
Hey, Jimmy. Thanks for coming.
Had to look all over town to find a place that had it. Didn't have time to wrap it.
Well, thanks. You're good.
That's a little detail that they added. It's interesting. It shows almost like he thinks he's not even good enough to come into the house. And you're probably like, what? That's a little too much on it. But no one has ever had to tell me to stop scrubbing my shoes. My man was going to keep going. He's like, I got to get this, make sure before I walk up in this motherfucker.
About the wedding, I've been meaning to apologize about that. I'm truly sorry.
No worries.
They got me working in the mailroom, which you got to start somewhere. I learned how to use the Xerox machine, which is surprisingly complicated. I want to thank you for having me over. This is like the best meal I've had in a decade. What's the difference between a vacuum cleaner and a lawyer on a motorcycle?
I don't know.
The vacuum cleaner has the dirt bag on the inside. What do you get when you cross the Godfather with a lawyer? An offer you can't understand. And believe me, I have nothing but the utmost respect for your profession. I mean, it's a pillar of, why do they bury lawyers under 20 feet of dirt? Because deep down, they're really good people. What do you call a lawyer with an IQ of 60? Your Honor.
Chuck is hating.
Just joking. I want you to know how seriously
Anytime
I take
Chuck
my
sees
job.
Jimmy doing
grateful
good,
for that.
even in that moment.
How many lawyers
Look at
does
him
it take to change a light bulb? Classic setup here. 3. 1 to climb the ladder, 1 to shake it, and 1 to sue the ladder company.
What do lawyers and sperm have in common?
It's just...
3 million. No, wait. 1 in 3 million have a chance of becoming a human being.
What do you call 25 attorneys buried up to their chins in cement? Not enough cement.
What? Oh.
So interesting. Remember how I was like, yo, you could just tell by the way that man was trying to just kick some non-existent dirt off his feet on that mat. I mean, he would have stomped through that mat had Chuck not stopped him. You could tell he sort of thought, okay, I'm amongst a higher class here. Let me, but to see Chuck, there's something that they haven't really showed much of. Because even when he says all the stuff about him being a lawyer, I could understand it. But I never sensed this jealousy. But now looking back on it, there was some jealousy in there, huh? So at the beginning when I was saying he was a hater, and then he said the reason he didn't he didn't want him to be a lawyer, and he found it to be beneath him. No, he is a hater.
You threw away a soda can.
You going through my trash?
No. I was just dropping off papers at lunchtime and I happened to notice it in your trash can. I fished it out, so it's fine. Office cans are for recyclable paper. We take our ecological footprint pretty seriously here.
Okay, so the big can is where I should throw my empty Scotch bottles. No, I get it.
Maybe I'm in a bad mood, but I don't fuck with nobody on this episode.
Okay, no offense, but you're a second-year associate, right?
Yep,
And I came in as a fourth year.
that's right.
So why is a second year giving notes to a fourth year?
Well, like I said, I know the house style.
Does Cliff have you babysitting me?
Yep.
No. Went a tad overboard with the quotations. It's okay to present a quote
I'm
from a
like,
controlling legal opinion.
your
But
voice.
when you use too many,
I gotta
it
go
disrupts the
'cause of
flow
your
your
voice.
argument, and it gives
I
you...
really appreciate this, Aaron, but I was just on my way out. So if we could continue this first thing tomorrow morning.
Miss Wexler?
You can call me Kim.
Kim, it's 20 to midnight.
Are you asking me if you can leave? Guys, I'm not your supervisor. Don't stick around on my account.
You coming, Kim?
Right behind you. Just finishing up this last one.
5 minutes, just give me 5 minutes. Here's how we're gonna handle this travesty of justice.
Wexler versus Hamlin, McGill. You want me to sue my own firm?
What?
Filing's all typed up, it's ready to go. It has nothing to do with your performance. You're being mistreated. Chuck is punishing you to get to me. This is extortion, pure and simple. I'm telling you, Chuck is behind this.
No, you are behind this. I told you this would happen, and now I'm paying the price. I should have known better. So now I'm keeping my head down, and I'm getting through this. Even if I won, who would hire me? That would be
Right.
career suicide.
Right?
All right,
Like, what?
then I quit Davis and Maine. I give him what he wants, he lets up on you.
Wow. My knight in shining armor, that is some sacrifice. Quitting a job that you've been trying to tank since day one. Prove you can go 1 week, hell, 1 day without breaking the rules of the New Mexico Bar Association. And don't insult my intelligence by saying you are doing any of this for me. Hey, Jerry, it's Kim Wexler. How's things with the alumni group? They should really be considering Hamlin, McGill. Must have just been a rumor. Hey, I remember you mentioned your brother worked in Intel's legal department. I'm an attorney at Hamlin, McGill. Would you happen to know if Intel is happy with their legal representation? You know what?
Oh, I see what she's
Just
doing.
call the main number
Trying
and
to
they'll
dig
find me.
herself up out the hole.
Schweikart? Sure. Yeah, I know them well. It's a great firm. We met at that ABA mixer last year. Yep, bourbon shots. Well, congrats on landing the Honeywell
up all
contract.
her lunchtime.
Huge amount of work.
That a bitch.
You too.
You know I'm an office worker. Because I'm just worried about her using up all her damn lunchtime.
How's your lunch?
Good.
What'd you have?
See?
Turkey wrap.
No one had to tell me. I knew.
Whoa, hold on. What the hell happened to you? I get it, the first rule of Fight Club, right? Surprise. Bet you never thought you'd see me again. Mm-hmm. I need a summary judgment hearing with Michaelis for Bray v. O'Connell, and I'm hoping for Thursday at 10 before he, You're pretty. Will you be my new mommy?
Bar Association.
What are you doing? That's a bribe.
It's a gift. That's how it works here. You grease the wheels of justice. I apologize for my colleague. She's new. Is there any possible way we could still get Thursday?
I'll give you 2:30 Thursday, the 14th.
That's next month. So does this go on my official Stasi report?
I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I'm trying to keep you out of it.
Give you a car? Bet they gave you a car.
Yeah, they gave me a car.
Okay.
It's,
No, don't tell me. I bet you have a sick office.
it's pretty sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's vomit. Again, the worst part, could have come from 2 different defendants. Scumbags.
Hi, this is Wexler. I was looking for Carolyn Lippitz. Hi, Claudia. It's Kim Wexler. Kim Wexler. I did call yesterday. Okay, I totally get it. Kim Wexler. Hey, how are you, Paige? You did? That's so nice to hear. I thought we hit it off as well. I couldn't be more thrilled. The firm and I. Absolutely, I'll tell him right now. I'm sure we can get something on the books tomorrow. Day after at the latest.
Some sort of light.
Well, I think that couldn't have got any better. Pleasure to meet you.
Fantastic. I'll see you soon.
Thanks for setting this up. Talk to you soon.
We gonna see how this goes. There's something to this, right? But it's to be added to the story. Like, of course, she's gonna try to get herself out of the situation she's in.
Congratulations.
Right back at you.
I'll circle back with Paige, get the ball rolling. start talking strategy. You know, maybe put together a list of staff associates we can put on this.
I'll put Francis on that.
Damn.
You've got enough on your plate in doc review.
God damn. He said, "Oh, I'll put Francis on that. You got a bunch of work in doc review. Like, fuck you."
Interstate expansion. It's a complex case. It's 2, maybe 3 regulatory commissions we'll be dealing with. Months of work for HHM. Maybe years.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying something new. Coming in working until 9. It's easier before the place opens, without all the lights and the phones ringing.
May I ask you a question?
Of course.
Do I have a future at this firm?
We have a lot in common, you and I. My brother left you holding the bag. If it makes you feel any better, you're not the first person to go out on a limb for him. He ran a little corner store in Cicero. Cigarettes behind the counter, penny candy. Nothing special, but it kept food on the table. And the neighborhood loved Dad. He knew everybody's name and what was going on in their lives. Put everything he had into that place. I was away at college when he put Jimmy to work there. Jimmy grew up in that store, watching our father. But Dad was not the world's greatest businessman, and eventually he ran into money troubles. Now, I'm no accountant, but I discovered $14,000 was just gone. Vanished over the years. Turns out Jimmy had pilfered it in dribs and drabs. Just took it out of the till. My dad wouldn't hear it. Not his Jimmy. He ended up having to sell. 6 months later, he was dead. At the funeral, no one cried harder than Jimmy. My brother is not a bad person.
That's God damn.
He has a good heart.
That's a good way to put it.
He's
not being malicious.
He can't help himself.
Yeah.
And everyone's left picking up the pieces. I'll talk to Howard. Pour a little oil on troubled waters. You're being wasted down in doc review.
Interesting. Who's that coming in? Salamanca. Yep.
He really did a number on you. The young man who did that to you is my nephew. He thinks he's a boxer. He should have shown you respect. I apologize to you on behalf of my family.
Apology accepted.
He should go to jail. Best thing for him, teach him respect for his elders. But not for 8 years. The gun charge, that's 8 years is gone away, maybe 10. Aggravated assault, the gun, plus you got your wallet. I would like for you to tell the police that the gun was yours.
Would you?
You bought a little hot under the collar about whether you bump his car or not.
Then I'd be subject to the gun charge.
You're an ex-cop. They go easy on you.
So you're a psychic.
I even twist Tuco's ear, make him apologize. And he serves for battery. Nothing else. I'm looking for the best possible outcome for everybody. For your trouble, you take home $5,000. Think about it.
First, let me start by saying don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are subscribed, make sure to hit the notification bell. Shout out to all the new viewers. Shout out to all the subscribers. And I got a Patreon with full-length early reactions to things like this. If you'd like to, check it out. So, Don Salamanca, I forgot what his first name is, right? He shows up and he gives Mike basically a demand. Not even a suggestion. Not even a request. This was a demand. Okay? He was doing little subtle things, right? The whole time he's being nice, old man, cordial. The man just offered you $5,000. The man just told you to take the charge, take the gun, let you know that he already knows that you're a cop who can get out of this. And Mike said the only thing you can. He's like, what you psychic or something? Like, you think I'm going to be able to get out of this? He probably could, right? Because he's an ex-cop, but he don't want to be anywhere near this. Now, here's the thing. No matter what, the only way to deal with this is to go deeper. Because Ignacio gave him money. Right? Ignacio paid for something. He expected something to happen. So if he goes right behind him and deals with Don Salamanca, you know what I mean? And then also, if he does any sort of dealing with him, it's like, okay, now you're dealing with who you're dealing with. And so that's pretty crazy, right? Because he's between a rock and a hard place, as they say. I want to see how he deals with it, right? And like, yeah, it's pretty crazy because as I was watching it, I was just going to talk about just the show. I wasn't expecting that part to take place, but you saw Mike's eyes at the end of that scene where he's like, and it's because he's like, damn, shit was sweet and I got to deal with this. And what was crazy was when Salamanca walked in, I don't even know how I knew that was him. I'm trying to figure out. Did I see him wear that type of hat before? I don't think so, but anyway, yeah, this was that scene was dope. That story that Chuck told about Jimmy and their father, that sums up Jimmy, not Saul, but Jimmy so much. And what it is it's no ill will. He's not being malicious. That's just who he is. He does things, sometimes not even attempting to cause harm. Sometimes even trying to help. Like when he did with Kim, where he came up with that dumbass play at the Sioux. 14,000 over time. The father was a bad businessman. So that probably wasn't what put him under, but it didn't help. You understand? And Chuck says no one cried harder than Jimmy at the funeral, which is, yeah, that says how Jimmy is, right? Like, he really cared about him. He wasn't trying to hurt him or nothing like that, right? But in the end, every once in a while that happens. And what he did to Kim is like, you know, Kim is down in doc review, right? When he came down there with the plan, what was it? Wexler versus HHM. Everything she said, she's like, yo, what the fuck? And it's funny because, yeah, she's never going to get a job ever again. And then there's also the thing of, it's a big time law firm. How they going to defeat them? Even if at the end they win, watch this. It's going to take years. They going to have that shit wrapped up and she going to be dead, broken, destitute by that time. Then it's just like, man, he wants to help, but he don't, right? It's like we go to the part where, and this was something so simple, where he gave the chick the Beanie Baby. Early on, we thought it was pretty funny, haha, chuckles in the first season. He's a public defender. The eyes aren't on him or anything like that. But that really could be bad for that law firm, for that practice. Why? You can't bribe nobody under our name? What the fuck? Right? And the look on her face, she was horrified. What the fuck are you doing? She just grabbed it. Right? For her, that was really a life or death sort of interception. She's like, dog, you about to bribe her? Right? And then that chick. So Cliff is hilarious. You know why? It's one thing. Jimmy was doing what he was doing. Let's say Jimmy doesn't get in trouble. They're probably going to let him learn on the job. They may have even let him get away with some of the things he was doing, little small things. But now it's time to get in line and learn how we do business here. We not waiting no time now because we can't take that risk with you anymore. Also, there's the thing of, he sent the most annoying chick in the world to do it. They knew what they were doing, right? She went through his trash and was like, you are putting the recyclables, the wrong recyclables in the wastebasket, the paper wastebasket. I'm like, oh, fuck out of here, right? What I made a mistake in one of my assumptions, right? My assumption was maybe Chuck did have a little bit of something to do with Kim being down there. Not because we had ever saw that on screen. Not because they ever told us that. But just because, remember how we learned about Chuck Chuck's influence with Jimmy. So it was good to see that cleared up when Hamlin comes there, speaks to Chuck, and he's like, "You gonna get her out of there?" He said, "We'll see." Right? Okay, let's talk about Kim. Kim attempting to get herself out of doc review was so dope. She gets it. Everything's done. They're standing out front. She's like, "Congratulations." He's like, "Hey, congratulations to you too." And she says everything she plans on doing. He's like, "Nah, Francis will handle that. You busy in doc review." I was like, "Oh shit, why did he even say congratulations to her?" Right? That's what I was thinking. I'm glad Chuck was like, "I'm going to speak to him, see if we can get you out of that dungeon," right? Because that's fucked up, right? But it's one of those things where they have to learn the type of people you're dealing with. The higher at the top, the more responsible they are. So they need you to learn. If you do anything to damage what I got going, and what I got going is all of this. All of this. If I'm Hamlin or Chuck, everything I'm doing is at stake here. Or Davis and Maine, the actual partners, everything I'm doing is at stake. So if you put me in a bad spot, hey, I got to make you pay. You got to learn somehow. Right? And so it may sound crazy that I understand why he feels that way, but he feels that way because it's a reputation thing. As we see with Davis and Maine, for these law firms, it's all about reputation. For being a lawyer, as I've learned from watching plenty of things, reputation matters a lot. You're not going to get no business, right? Okay, so that's real important to her. I'm trying to see, was there anything else in here that I had already covered that I can't remember? I don't believe so, but yeah. Oh, so what I liked about that episode was nothing really moves forward, right? Like what we saw with Salamanca and Mike, it's right there at the cusp. But basically what that is what this whole episode was. And that's everybody dealing with the aftermath of these events that have taken place. You see, the events that they've partook in. Kim helps Jimmy. Jimmy does what he does. They're both dealing with the consequences of that. Then you have Mike, who's now dealing with the consequences of what he did with Ignacio for that money. And I really would like to see how he deals with that. Hey, man. Next episode.